Hello, hello, Jose.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine, I'm fine. Good morning. It is very temprano, early? No,
Yes, very early.
early. Okay.
Yes, 9 a.m. for me. What time is it where you are? In Spain, right?
The weather in Spain. Here is cloudy. It's cold and rainy.
Nice. That's same here. It's raining a little bit. And it's, well, I suppose it's not cold considering it's December here. So, and let's see. Hello, Igor. And hello, Saiban.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Is this your first class with me?
Yes,
Okay, I thought so. So where are you from?
I'm from Iraq.
Iraq. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Welcome to class. It's nice to meet you.
thank you so much.
And Daniel,
Hello,
how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And this is your first class with me as well, correct?
Yes,
Wonderful. Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Wonderful. Very cool. Welcome to class. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, nice to meet you too.
Thanks. And hello, Victor.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi,
How,
everybody.
how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Glad to see you.
Good to see you too. And Igor, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm fine. Starting my Friday off very well. So, good. Let's begin then. Today's class is grammar stories with the grammar focus on gerunds and infinitives. And hello, Shadow. Welcome.
Hello, teacher. Hello, all.
And how are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. Glad you're here. All right. So, if this is your first class with grammar stories, I must warn you, the stories themselves are quite boring. They were written to demonstrate the grammar, so there's no excitement, there's no emotion. They're really dull, but they demonstrate the grammar very clearly. We will start with a short a quick review of the grammar, and then we'll read. There are 3 stories, but we will only probably read 2 of them, and I will ask for volunteers to do the reading, just so you can get some extra speaking practice. And then at the end, we will have the really valuable part of this, I think, are the questions at the end, where we'll have a discussion designed to get you using gerunds and infinitives in more natural conversation. So with that, any questions or comments before we begin? All right, so we're going to go to the English page. I will share it and I'll put a link in the chat and just review the trickier parts of gerunds versus infinitives. I find this web page gives what I think are clear descriptions of the grammar with useful examples. So I would recommend this page for your grammar questions, englishpage.com. So just quickly going to look at the information here, gerunds and infinitives. A gerund is made from, it's a noun made from a verb by adding ing. So the gerund form of read is reading. And you can use a gerund as the subject, the complement, or the object of a sentence. And there are some differences in usage that we'll look at in a moment, depending whether it's the subject or the object or the complement. So here's an example of a gerund as the subject. Reading helps you learn English. So reading is the gerund, and it acts as a noun. In this case, it is the subject of the sentence. And in this case, the same gerund is seen, but it's the complement of the sentence. So it's not an object, but it follows the verb. In this case, the verb is. And our third example shows the same gerund, reading, as the object, being acted upon by the verb. We won't talk about the negative, though, of course, if you have any questions about anything, please stop me and ask. So infinitives are the to form of the verb, kind of the base form of the verb. So the infinitive of learn is to learn. Here we see the infinitive as the subject. To learn is important. Here we see it as the complement following the verb. And here it is as the object of the sentence. He wants to learn. All right. So that should be kind of background. Here is the important information about the differences between gerunds and infinitives. Sometimes they can be used interchangeably, but other times they cannot be. So as subjects or complements, gerunds and infinitives can be used in the same way with a slight difference in how they sound. So using a gerund as a subject or complement usually sounds more like normal spoken English, whereas infinitives sound more abstract and more formal. So you'll see an infinitive as the subject or complement more in written English, but you will hear gerunds as the subject or complement. Yes, please do.
What do you actually mean by describing something in language as abstract?
So abstract means when we describe something in language as abstract, we mean less easily pictured or not concrete, not something that you can easily form a mental picture of. or more vague would be another word.
So it's kind of, I don't know, the most important thing is learning. And the most important thing is to learn. What's the difference? I don't see any.
It's more, I guess, a better way to think of it. This page uses abstract, and that is kind of confusing. I would say think of it more as formal. To me, this sounds more formal, or more like something you would see in writing, whereas this is what you would hear in spoken English. So maybe it's better if we talk about formality. Abstract or maybe poetic might be more...
What about the famous phrase, to be or not to be? Can it be being or not being? I don't know.
You could, so being or not being would be grammatically correct, and it sounds much less formal, less poetic, less high level. And so I guess that's what they mean by abstract.
So you can see as a question, being or not being. That's the question. Can you even say that?
You can say that. You would no longer be quoting Shakespeare, but and you would sound much less formal and less fancy. So really, when it's the complement or the subject, the difference is formality or poetic quality, we could say. Does that help? Does that answer the question?
I don't know. I don't see any difference anyway.
As far as meaning goes, there's not a. They mean the same thing. There's just one sounds more common, more everyday, and that's the gerund, and one sounds more academic or more formal.
No, I once tried to explain something to a Russian learner, and they used the same thing. I told that it is more abstract. I don't understand, like he couldn't understand me.
It is abstract itself is an abstract word, so it's kind of funny to use it to try to describe something. It's not very helpful. Good, really good question. All right, so that's kind of the difference between the gerunds and the infinitives in the subject and complement. It's much more tricky when they are the object of a sentence because there are specific rules about whether you can use a gerund or whether you can use an infinitive. So they're not interchangeable. You can't use a gerund and an infinitive in the same situations. And usually the main verb in the sentence determines whether you use a gerund or an infinitive. So in this example, he enjoys swimming. Enjoys is the main verb, and it requires a gerund. He enjoys swimming, he enjoys reading, he enjoys learning. You can't say he enjoys to swim. He enjoys to learn. That's incorrect. And then with the verb want, it's the opposite. You can't say he wants swimming. You can't say he wants learning. You have to use the infinitive after the verb want.
Sorry, may I ask another question?
Yes, please.
So, how Americans, or at least native English speakers, how do they perceive a verbal noun like swimming or an infinitive to swim? It's like swimming is like an action noun or something like that. Yes.
Yes. Yep. It is the verb turned into a noun.
So it still has the property of an action.
Yes, it brings up the image of the action, but it will act like a noun. So you could use adjectives to describe it. So fast swimming, slow swimming. Yeah. So they will act like a noun in that they'll they could take adjectives. I suppose that's not very common, but yeah, does that answer? I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't see real difference between swim and swim.
Most, I'd say native speakers, unless they're into grammar or very into English, they won't necessarily recognize it as a noun formally. But in their speaking, they will use it as a noun, whether they're aware of it or not.
No, that swimming, brings an image over, action in process, not completed action.
Yeah, so sometimes swimming will be a gerund, but other times it will be a verb in the progressive tense. And so those are different. Like, I am swimming. In that case, it's the verb, the present progressive verb, swim.
Yeah, I understand that,
Okay.
but what about if it's a gerund? So is it still like an action noun, but a not completed action?
Yeah. People will see it as an action, and people who don't know grammar might call it a verb even.
I see.
Yeah, gerunds can be confusing for native speakers too. Good question. Yeah, of course. So we'll just keep this in mind that when gerunds and infinitives are the object, it's the main verb that's most important. This list of verbs followed by gerunds and list of verbs followed by infinitives is very useful. Here it is. We're not going to go through it because, as you can see, there are a lot of verbs, but I recommend this for further practice. So the verb admit always will be followed by a gerund. He admitted cheating. He admitted lying. But other, avoid, let's see. Oh, these are all gerunds. But these lists are helpful, and they are organized, I guess, by whether it needs a gerund or a noun, a gerund or an infinitive with a difference in meaning, or a gerund or an infinitive with little difference in meaning. I don't want to go on too long, but there are exercises on this page as well that you can do if this is a tricky area for you. How about we get started with one of the grammar stories, and along the way we'll stop and kind of look at when we see gerunds and when we see infinitives and talk about why each is used in that instance. And then, of course, we'll save at least 20 minutes at the end for the questions to have a discussion using both gerunds and and infinitives. Yes, these. So here's our very interesting grammar stories, full of excitement, and they are purple and blue people. That might be the most exciting part of the story. Do I have a volunteer that would like to do the reading today? Amy finds a new job.
Let me try.
Sure. Go ahead when you're ready.
Amy finds a new job. Amy works at a restaurant called Lanat. Amy likes working at the restaurant. She enjoys meeting new people and talking to the customers. The only problem is that the restaurant is open very late, and Amy hates staying up late. She dislikes feeling tired in the morning. Amy really wanted to find a new job, but she was scared to try something completely different. She considered working in a clothing store, but she hates folding clothes. She tried to find a good job in the classified ads, but she wasn't qualified enough for most of them. Finally, she decided to work in a breakfast restaurant. Now she is able to do what she loves, but without the late nights.
Very good. Very nice. Excellent. Is there any vocabulary or any questions before we talk about this story?
I
Amy sounds
question.
like an interesting
Yeah.
person.
When she says, but she hates folding clothes, what exactly she hates? Folding or clothes?
She hates the folding, the action. Yep,
Okay.
so this is our gerund. And hates is one of the verbs that will require a gerund. We could not say she hates to fold. Oh, wait, yes, we could. No, we couldn't. She hates to fold clothes. Yes, we could. I'm sorry. Yes. You could use an infinitive here. It would be less common.
Okay.
Like, and you could say she hates to clean the bathroom. She hates to walk long distances. But it's much more common to hear the gerund. There is no difference in meaning there, though. And it will be the action that she hates. Good. Any other questions? All right. So when I'm looking at the instances of gerunds and infinitives here, I'm seeing that most of them are of the type where they could be either the gerund or the infinitive. So Amy likes working at the restaurant. Actually, this one could not. We could not say Amy likes. Yes, we could. I apologize. You could say Amy likes to work at the restaurant.
Yeah, you can say she enjoys to meet new people. You have to say she enjoys meeting new people.
Yeah. Enjoys will always take the gerund, but likes could take either the gerund or the infinitive. Yeah. I like to work at the school. I like to teach on verbling. I like teaching on verbling. Again, I think the gerund would be more common. This one, considered, is going to be one of our verbs that requires a gerund as well. You could not say she considered to work in a clothing store. That one will always take a gerund. She considered applying for a new job. She considered washing the dishes. Never the infinitive there.
Is it because you consider something? Yeah? Like it requires an object.
Yes, yeah. And so it needs to be a noun then, yeah.
Yes, like you just can say consider something.
Yes, that would be a good way to think of it. Yes, you have to consider a thing, and so you need to have the gerund because the gerund is a noun, a thing. Good. All right. Are there any other questions on this story? We have a couple of so there's comprehension questions after that are meant to get you to use the infinitive and the gerund. Let's just do these quickly. And I would like to just call on you to read the question and the answer from the text. Or if you have a great memory and don't need the text, you can answer from what you remember. So if that's okay, Victor, can I call on you for number 1, please?
Okay. Does Amy like working at the restaurant? Yes, she does. Amy likes working.
Very good, very good. Excellent. And Shadow, you're next.
Okay. What does she like about her job? She likes meeting people and talking to the customers.
Very good. So 2 gerunds there. Excellent. How about for number 3, Jose Antonio? Number 3, please.
Does Sammy like staying up late? Why or why not? Amy hates staying up late. She dislikes feeling tired in the morning.
Good, very good. And dislikes, I think, is going to be one of those one of the verbs that requires a gerund. She dislikes to feel tired in the morning. Sounds strange. I suppose you could say it, but it sounds strange to me. Very good. Igor, next question. 4.
What did Amy want to do? A lot of stuff. But she, finally was able to find another servant job. She's a waitress for life.
Really good. Yep, but she wants a new job. It doesn't look like she's set her aims very high in the job she's looking at. Excellent. And Daniel, number 5.
In a breakfast restaurant? I don't remember everything.
Oh, sorry. So where did Amy consider working? Here it is.
A clothing store.
Yep, she considered working in a clothing store. And with consider, again, that will always be followed by a gerund. All right. Victor, will you go take, let's see, number 6?
What did she try to find in the classified ads? Abby tried to find a good job in classified ads.
Good, very good. And just to note, on this verb tried, this could be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive. She tried finding a good job.
Tried finding.
Yeah, or she tried to find a good job. And there would be little or no difference in meaning for that one. Great. And finally, question 7. Shadow.
7. What did Amy finally decide? She decided to work in a breakfast restaurant.
Excellent. And in this case, decided requires an infinitive. We could not say she decided working in a breakfast restaurant. And as far as why, I'm not sure how to explain why decide requires an infinitive verb, but it will. She decided to work, she decided to find a new job, she decided to look in the classifieds. I think because decide is an action to do something in the future. Even though it's near future, it needs, I don't know if that's a good explanation, but that's how it seems to me. All right. So that's the last question for this story. I don't know that these stories are super helpful. Maybe it would be best for us to go right to the questions and have a discussion. Is that okay with everyone? I think it might be better to just practice using them in conversation. She decided to not work at all.
Not work, yeah, I make mistake.
Good. Yep, and you wouldn't, yeah, you see, yep, to work. Decided not to work at all. Wouldn't that be a great decision? So unless anybody really wants to read about Mary visiting her parents, I feel that we should go on to the discussion questions. So why don't we go to that? So what do you like doing at your job or at school? And I'm going to go back to the camera so this feels like a real conversation. I will post the questions in the chat as well. So what do you like doing at your job or school? The verb like will have a gerund after it or an infinitive. So I'll try to give an example of both. At my job, I like to talk about grammar. I also like reading. Igor likes receiving his high salary. Great. So why don't we just go down the line? How about Daniel? What do you like doing at your job or at school?
Studying.
So you like studying?
At university. In university.
Very nice. Anything else?
Maybe eat in our dining room. They're very delicious food.
Nice. And what do you study at school?
In university, I study law.
Law. Wow, exciting. Law student. Wonderful. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Igor, what do you like doing at your job aside from receiving your salary?
Well, I like doing nothing at my job, just sitting around there and watching the monitor and still receiving my salary.
Do you get lots of time to sit and do nothing?
Well, not really. That's what I hate about my job.
What is your job, if I may?
I'm a web designer.
Web designer. Oh, very cool. I know nothing about that. I can barely run a Google Hangout.
Me too. So that makes two of us.
Funny. So you just sit back and get paid, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I can't get away with this.
Yes, you'll get fired if you're not careful.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Jose Antonio, what do you like doing at your job or at school?
I love learning English. I'm retired. I'm not job. You know that I have a small vegetable garden.
A smaller what?
You know that I have a small vegetable garden.
A small vegetable garden.
Vegetable garden.
Ah, nice. So
I like growing vegetables and getting good harvests from my fruits tree.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. And I noticed you use the verb love. That always will be followed by a gerund, just like you did. So very nice.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. And Shadow, how about you? What do you like doing at your job or at school?
Okay, I like I like getting A plus in my exam. But it's not happened.
It has not happened?
No, not yet. Really bad. I like what else? Like as a hobby, I like drawing.
Oh, nice. And what kind of drawings do you do?
I usually draw these faces, but with just one eye. I can't draw twice. It's very hard.
Oh, wow. Well, I'd love to see some of your drawings sometime.
Yeah, sure. In my Google Plus, but it's private. Can add you.
Wonderful. I would love to see it. I like art. I like looking at art.
Yeah, sure, dear.
Nice. So thank you for sharing. And Victor, how about you? What do you like doing at your job or at school?
I like to play computer games at my work.
So
It's kind of not allowed, but nobody cares.
Oh, that sounds like a good job then.
I always can say I'm tasting new hardware.
So what is your job then? Are you a web designer as well?
I'm a system engineer.
Wonderful. Cool. That sounds like a fun job. Hope you can not get in trouble for that.
Probably no.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. Let's see. The next question is the opposite question. What do you hate doing at your job? At your job or at school? The verb hate, again, we'll use, let's see. You could use either a gerund or an infinitive. I hate working on the weekends. I hate to be strict with my students, but I have to, especially with the very young ones. So back to Daniel. What do you hate doing at school? Oh, sorry. We can come back to you later if you get a chance. Igor, what do you hate doing at your job?
Well, I hate being supervised by my superiors. So that you know.
So, are they just not qualified or not? What do you hate about it?
Well, I hate about that they stare. They, they make sure I don't have time to just sit around there doing nothing.
So they make you work.
Yeah, they make me work. They're really, really bad people.
They sound like assholes.
They are.
Well, good luck dealing with them.
I hope they will never know about this conversation.
I won't tell them. That's actually one thing I love about verbling. This is the first job I've ever had where I don't have that problem so far, at least. Jose Antonio, what do you hate about, I know you said you're retired, so what do you hate about anything? Or about being retired?
I don't hate nothing, but I hate removing wheat among carrots, beets, or radishes.
So you hate weeding the garden. That makes sense. It's good exercise, though, right?
Yes. For these works, there is tools. I have works with the hand, the dedos.
Yeah, the fingers.
The finger of hand.
Okay.
Until the heavy works seem to me necessary.
Okay. So good. It sounds like the tools are helpful then. Good. All right. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Shadow? What do you hate doing at school?
Yeah, I hate many things in school. Most thing that I hate is doing homework. I also hate being late in class because they seems too harsh,
Oh,
I need teachers. What else? I hate using papers, in studies. I mean, just no need papers. We can't talk. learning, I mean. It's just that.
What happens when you are late to class? What do the teachers do?
Of course they don't punch me, or but they how can they being so harsh on you? I mean, when they talk to you, so are you late? And you said, for example, it's traffic jam or something like that. They said, why you don't come very early? And it's very embarrassing because there are other students. And
Oh, yeah, that sounds very unpleasant. I would not enjoy
yeah,
that either. Yikes. That's why I don't do that with my students. I don't enjoy being strict that way.
oh, here they are so strict.
I guess that's a kind of a cultural difference in education. Though I would probably be a better teacher if I were more strict. Oh well. Excellent, thank you. How about you, Victor? Victor, what do you hate at your job?
I hate waiting something not important but essential for my job. For example, yeah, somebody sign.
Oh, for someone to sign a paper or something? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes it took so many time.
Yeah, and that stops you from getting the work done, I suppose.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Instead of a couple of minutes, it can take a couple of days.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah, I would hate that too. At least you can play video games or computer games.
That's why I play.
Good, good.
What's your favorite game at work?
Counter-Strike. You don't believe me.
I don't know anything about the world of computer games.
It's kind of old game, old school.
Funny. I used to play Nintendo growing up, but as an adult, I don't find I have time anymore. My job, I'm never allowed to play video games. All the students would probably get mad at me or want to play instead of me if I tried. All right, let's see. The next question here is kind of the same, so I'll skip to the fourth. And it is, did you have to make any decisions lately? What did you decide to do? With the verb decide, it's going to be followed by an infinitive, always. You can't say, I decided swimming. You would have to say, I decided to swim. Again, I think that's because of the order. Deciding necessarily comes before whatever you decide. I'll try to think of an example, but if anyone has an example ready, they can go first. I had to decide, I guess, I recently moved to the Czech Republic, I guess 3 months ago. I don't know if that's recent or not. And I had to decide to take a job not necessarily where I wanted to. I wanted a job in Europe, but I wanted Prague, and I was offered a job in Carlsbad outside of Prague. So I had to decide to take a job that wasn't my perfect job. And I did decide that, and it's working out great. So anyone else? Daniel, are you available to talk yet? Okay, perfect. Igor, have you made any decisions lately? What did you decide to
I have a lot of trouble deciding whether to cook today or to just order food from the restaurant. And guess what? I ordered food.
So you decided not to cook then?
Yes.
Good, good. What did you order?
I just pizza.
Pizza. Wonderful. I miss pizza. I'm traveling back home tomorrow, back to Minnesota in the United States, and one of the first things I will do is order pizza. I miss pizza from back home.
So you're homesick?
No, not so much. I mostly just miss pizza and my cat, and other foods as well.
What about your family?
Of course, I miss them, sort of. I miss my grandparents. I miss my family, but no.
Don't I know about things, wonderful things like Skype or something like that?
Yes, I Skype them. They are worse at technology than I am. So, for example, I tried to do a Google Hangout with my mom so she could see me, and it was an infuriating disaster, to say the least.
I know the feeling. I had the same problem.
Trying to help her with technology from across the globe just didn't work. So I just put $5 on my Skype account so I could call her on the telephone.
I don't know what was my solution.
What was it?
When I was to leave to another city, I just put a remote desktop at each computer at my father and mother's home. This way I could just do anything remotely from my computer.
Oh, nice. I would have no clue how to do that. But that's awesome.
So
really good
solution. It saved me a lot of grief trying to explain them what to do.
So you don't have to explain, you can just go in and fix their system.
The only thing I had to explain is how to, power it up. Just power it up the computer and just sit there and wait.
Wow, that is very clever. Very good solution there. Nice. Great. How about Jose Antonio? Did you have to make any decisions lately?
I had a sleeping when I am watching a movie in TV.
So you had to decide whether to fall asleep or not.
I decided to go to bed to the first note of the hat.
Very nice. It sounds like a difficult decision. Did it work out well?
No, it's easy decision.
Nice, good. That's my kind of decision. That's a good kind of decision to make. Excellent. Thank you. Shadow, how about you? Any decisions you've made lately?
No, I'm still confused, really.
Good. Are there any decisions you will have to make in the future?
I was thinking if in 2 months, which language do I have learned, because I finished my course in English, so I don't know, it's between French and Spanish, so.
Well, if you choose Spanish, you'll be able to take Spanish classes on Verbling.
But the problem is here is there is no Spanish people a lot here, like in America,
Yeah, so it's not very useful language.
Yeah, so because of that, no.
Are there many French speakers?
In Arab country, yeah, there are so many.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Well, they're both Romance languages. They sound very different, but there are a lot of connections between the two. So maybe take French, and then Spanish will always be around.
Maybe.
That's a good decision to make. Again, not too stressful of a decision, but good luck with it.
Thank you.
Victor, how about you? Any decisions you've had to make lately?
Yes. Probably you know, the economic situation in our country is going down, I think. Dollar is rising, and yeah, price of Warbling, I think, has doubled.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Now,
that's...
to be honest, I didn't make a decision yet. I have to do it by 3rd January.
Oh, so you have to decide whether to stay on Verbling or quit Verbling?
Yeah.
That is not a good decision to have to make.
Probably I won't quit. I will rewatch my expensive or something like that. But, yeah.
Well, I hope you stay.
I hope to.
Yeah, I actually don't know anything about Verbling on the students' side of it. But I know they certainly haven't raised what they've paid us. No, I shouldn't say things about that. Suddenly I'll have a supervisor talking to me. But I hope you stay. And
yeah,
thank you.
I'll stay. Probably I'll change my subscription.
Okay. Oh, so there's different levels of subscription. Yeah. Okay.
Low level is 10 classes a month, but it's not enough for me.
Okay. I didn't know that. I should probably learn these things. I will get to it. But well, at least there's the option of lowering if you need to.
Maybe they will suggest me discount. I don't know.
Are you a long-term member? Maybe they'll do some sort of long-term deal.
Yeah, I have been learning English more than a year.
Oh wow! So you've been on here way longer than me.
Yes.
Well, good. Good. Thanks for sharing. I think we have time for at least one more question. So here's one. Are you looking forward to doing something fun or interesting? What is it? I am looking forward to seeing my friends. I'm also going to be in New York for New Year's Eve, and so I am looking forward to visiting New York and everything that I will do in New York. Very excited about it. I'm trying to figure out the gerunds and infinitives here. It almost seems like, so looking forward is our verb, phrasal verb, and it looks like to doing something. To do is an infinitive, but we have doing, so I'm not really sure about that grammatically. But anyhow, let's just answer anyway. How about you, Igor? Are you looking forward to doing something fun or interesting?
Well, I'm always looking forward to doing something fun. But right now it's all about the New Year's. It's a really big holiday here in Russia. I think it's their most important holiday for Russian people. There will be a great family get-together. Like, effectively everyone will come here, and they are mass here at my house. There will be my mother, my sister, my father, my grandmother, and my grandfather. So it's kind of really great.
Oh wow, that does sound like fun.
Yeah, and after sitting there for like about 30 minutes, I would just go and do something else.
Excellent. Well, so it sounds like that'll be New Year's is really a fun holiday, and that's the biggest holiday of the year in Russia.
Yeah, it's like everybody feels entitled to really drink a lot and do a lot of crazy stuff, you know.
Yes, it is that kind of holiday, in my experience as well. sorry to, I just figured out the grammar on this. My mistake here. The verb is to be. It's question form, so it threw me off a little bit. But are is the verb. So looking forward, looking is our gerund we're using here. I apologize on my mistake there. Jose Antonio, are you looking forward to doing something fun or interesting?
Yes, yes. I am always looking to do a trip. I like going to other countries from Europe.
Wonderful. And are you going on a trip soon?
I am I was in Italy, Belgium, Holland, Austria, Germany, Holland, in Prague too.
Wow, excellent. You've been all over. That's one of my favorite things about Europe. It's so easy to get to other countries. I'm looking forward to visiting those that you've just mentioned.
It's 2 years ago in Prague.
Wow, cool. Very cool. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. The grand place, the central place in the on
The bridge. The bridge.
Charles
Bridge.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah, Prague is one of my favorite cities, I must say. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And Shadow, are you looking forward to doing something fun or interesting?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it important? I mean, is it like a rule if I said looking forward to then gerund? Because I thought that after to it's always infinitive.
Yeah, so that's the part that was confusing me. But let's try to put this, I think it's confusing because of the sentence and also the phrasal verb looking forward. Wait, so, let me see. Let me just type a sentence and we can dissect it. I am looking forward to traveling. Okay, so looking at the sentence, I am looking forward to traveling. Am is the verb, and so the gerund is looking. To traveling is the complement. In this case, it's not a verb. In fact, and I would have to look this up to be 100% certain, but looking forward to, this is a preposition that must be with this verb. So you have to have the to as part of the phrasal verb, or it's not really the verb because am is the verb. To look forward to something. So to, let's think of to as a preposition that is required rather than attached to what follows. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, is it forward to? It's like a phrasal verb.
Yeah, it's like, yes, and it is a phrasal verb. In this case, it's a compound verb we're looking at. But I could easily say, I look forward to seeing you all again.
So this traveling and seeing you, it's a gerund.
Yes, those are gerunds as well. Yes, okay. And they're gerunds in the complement. No, object position.
So is it correct if I said I'm looking forward to planning surprise party for my sister?
Yes, yep, that would be perfectly correct.
I think so.
And I think so then let's say that look forward to is a phrasal verb that requires a gerund. And we just need to remember that to is a preposition, not an infinitive thing.
Okay.
Really good question. Really good question.
Thank you.
Good. And you are planning a surprise party for your sister?
Yeah, because she's going to graduate this semester. Yeah.
Oh, exciting. You're very sweet to do that for her.
It's a whole family, not just me.
Oh, good. Good. Well, nice. I hope she's surprised.
Yes, that.
Good. Good. And Victor, how about you? Is there anything you're looking forward to doing?
Besides the New Year Eve, as Silver said, I'm looking forward to eat my dinner.
Looking forward to eating your dinner. Very good. What are you having for dinner?
I don't know, my wife is cooking something delicious.
Wonderful.
Only smell it.
Lucky. I wish I had a wife to do that for me. Just kidding. Okay, so it is time to say goodbye. Thank you all for your participation and making the grammar stories fun and your excellent questions. I hope I was able to help with some answers. And I hope to see you all again very soon.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
See you.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.